Hey, konnichiwa, minasan. It's Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse over Japan. How are you doing? Are you good? Are you genki? Or should I say konbanwa, because it's actually late in the evening here. It's 10:12 p.m. as I record this. Tuesday night, of course, because we live in the future in Japan. Speaking about the future, this is my review of the new issue of The Flash, issue 1. Written by Si Spurrier. It's got art by the artist whose name I just cannot pronounce for some reason. Mike Deodato Jr. Deodato. And it's got colours by Trish Mulvihill. So, this came out today, Tuesday. It's priced at $4.99. You get 30 pages for that. It could be 31. The question is it any good? That's what you want to know, isn't it? Well, okay. Let's see. Let me give it the great positive take. The positives from this issue are there are a lot of things in here. There's a lot of plot threads started in this issue. You know, it's dense. Maybe some people might say too dense. It's very wordy. Sometimes Si Spurrier goes a little bit over the top with his purple prose, shall we say. But to be fair, you do get a lot of bang for your buck, if you know what I mean, you know, because there is a lot of content in here. The art is pretty good. I've heard some criticisms, but I like it, especially the scenes with the speed force, you know, the movement. You get a real feeling of fluidity and there's like a kinetic feel to the action scenes. What else is positive? I like the colours. The colours match it pretty well. And yeah, it does kind of continue the Jeremy Adams story. It does mostly, but it's a very different kind of tone. It's darker with it being Si Spurrier, you know, more famous for sort of horror, indie horror comics, stories. So you must be aware of that. You know, there is a big difference in tone. But let me give you some examples of Si Spurrier's flowery prose or kind of scratching your head prose. Here's one right near the beginning. This is, where are we? Max Mercury talking to somebody, and he's saying, like a blind man holding an elephant's trunk, boasting a knowledge of serpents. I'll leave you to think about that for a few minutes while I scroll down quickly to my favourite, and this has been picked up or picked out by quite a few reviews so far. Where has it gone now? Like tectonic plates under an ocean of honey. Okay, anyway, what I'll do as usual, I'm going to give you a short story summary, focus on mainly the first 6 pages, so without spoiling too much, but I will talk about some of the things that happen in this issue. And come on, just if you're interested, give it a chance. That's all I can say. It's the first issue, you know, it's worth a look, worth picking up. It's pricey at $5, but that seems to be the way that, you know, DC and Marvel are going, especially with new number ones. So, remember, I'm positive, so I'm going to give this a rating of 6.5 out of 10. Okay, please keep watching. Here we go. As the issue opens, we're told this will be a beginning like no other, and we see Max Mercury, who we're told has had many, many names before, including Whip Whirlwind, the Phantom of Mons, the Kugelmonster, Quicksilver, and now, of course, these days he's known as Max Mercury, and we're told he knows when it's time to seek a new name. He's joined by Kid Flash, Bart Allen or Impulse, and they appear to be racing. Just let me read some of the narration by Si Spurrier. You get an idea of his writing style right from the start. In the bloody breath of the frontier, he was Aweholta, he who runs with a storm. Each new self marking a transcendence towards higher mysteries. He has always felt it better to be swift of spirit than fleet of foot, and he's always known when it's time to seek a new name. Max has some kind of weird vision of a huge buffalo with red eyes, flanked by 3 men. One appears to be aiming a rifle at him. Something seems to hit Max and Bart and they go flying, stumbling, rolling across the floor. Bart, are you alive? Almost definitely alive. Just look at that bottom panel, look at poor Bart. His body looks completely twisted, but I think it's just the angle, I'm not sure. Maybe it's the art. Something went wrong, says Max. We struck, I don't know, a flaw. Then he asks Bart if he saw anything. Did anything pass through your mind? Besides my own butt, no. Why? So here we find out that only Max Mercury saw this. He's thinking that something tried to communicate with him. And what was the message it was trying to communicate? Help me, it hurts. Then we flash to present day and we see the Flash, Wally West. He's saying, ow, this shouldn't hurt. Okay, he's hitting the air fast enough to burn up your average extinction level asteroid on re-entry. Keep smiling. But that shouldn't matter. This is what I do. This is what I love to do. And it shouldn't hurt. Then on the next page, just let me comment on the art, because I've got to say, I do quite like this style. It's fast, it's kinetic, it's a bit chaotic, but you do get the feeling of speed and movement. We've got Flash here trying to fight some kind of weird gorilla. Is it Grodd? Is it one of Grodd's hench gorillas? And we're getting some kind of explanation for the Speed Force. Well, what Wally thinks it is. I have absolutely no idea how it works, he says. Think of it as a cosmic battery, an aura of accelerated space-time, but it's not that simple. It wobbles, it blips, and today, when I ought to be running rings around gorillas, it hurts. Then something truly strange happens. The gorillas raise their metal gauntlets into the air. We see some kind of electricity, and then we hear Wally saying that something is flickering on the edge of his senses. As he's watching, 30 cops and bystanders are climbing into the ionosphere, silent as the grave. So you've got this weird image. You can see the people trapped in what appear to be bubbles. They're floating up into the air. My name's Wally West. I'm the fastest man who ever lived. But you'd be amazed how much time I spend playing catch-up. After this, we spend time with the West family. We see Irie and Jay, new baby Wade. We get some weird dialogue, a little bit strange narration talking about Linda and Wally. Let me read a little bit from it. Here's Wally. Since the baby came, they have adopted polite fictions by common consent to keep the dangers and disasters separate from the domestic. But it's difficult to ignore the traces, the distant looks, the urgent calls, the scars, to believe deep down that he's wholly focused on her and their family. And then we get this line about Linda. First of all, we're told that she knows what it is to be haunted. The people she loves will live 1,000 moments in every one of her dull, slow seconds. She's merely a statue, an icon, miraculously giving milk, frozen in the amber of the ordinary. There we go, we're going full on Si Spurrier there with that. What do you reckon? So it sounds like they're strained in their relationship. It's not clear. They're each not telling each other what's really going on or how they're feeling. Is it just because of the baby? Is there more to it than that? There are some scenes with Mr. Terrific at work, and there's a strange figure. We don't really see his face clearly, but he's talking about, if you can believe this, we probably need to kill every speedster on the planet to have any hope of survival. So Wally's experiencing these strange interruptions to the Speed Force. You know, he's seeing things, he's feeling things, but he's not sharing it with Mr. Terrific. And Mr. Terrific gives him a chance to tell him how it's all going, what's going on, but he ignores that chance, he doesn't take it. Then later on we get a brief look at the children at school, and there's a really bizarre scene that reminds me of an old Sandman story. It's basically Jay, is it Jay or Jai, however you pronounce his name. He's in the boiler room at school, he's got no shirt on, he's crying, and his sister comes down to rescue him because she can hear him somehow. It's just bizarre. So we're getting like lots of setup for things I guess that are going to happen in future issues. But yeah, the overall feeling is, wow, this is strange, this is weird, this is dark, this is unusual. It's very, very different to the Jeremy Adams run that came before. And there we go. Hope you enjoyed that as much as you can enjoy it. I tell you what, for a comic book that should take 20 minutes to read, that felt like it was going on for 45 minutes. But anyway, very, very packed and lots to get out of it. So at least there's that about it. Now here's my favourite, the variant covers. This is the Dan Murrah variant cover. Great image, look at that. How cool does the Flash look? And just want to say to you out there, thank you so much for watching this far. If you're still here, that's brilliant. Do drop me a comment. Let me know what you think of the issue. What do you think of Si Spurrier? Take it over on Flash. Did you read the previous run by Jeremy Adams? I said I'd love to hear from you. Okay, as always, thank you so much for watching. This has been Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse, signing off for the night. Matane.